Hello everyone, myself Dr. Anuradha Sharma, and today we will discuss second part of Top 100 MCQ Marathon from the chapter Molecular Basis of Inheritance. These questions have been framed from every NCERT line, and this series is important for your class 12 board as well as NEET 2021 to 2022. So here comes the first question. Taylor and his colleagues used which radioactive probe to detect the distribution of newly synthesized DNA in chromosome? The options are first thymine, second is adenine, third is guanine, and fourth is cytosine. Now we know that Taylor and his colleagues used the radioactive probe first, that is thymine. So thymine was used as radioactive probe. Now, second question is the process of replication of DNA in E. coli requires an enzyme referred to as RNA-dependent DNA polymerase, RNA polymerase, DNA-dependent DNA polymerase, and DNA ligase. Now we know that in the process of replication, the enzyme which is used is DNA-dependent DNA polymerase. Now, next question is E. coli completes replication in approximately 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 18 minutes, and 40 minutes. So we know that E. coli completes replication in approximately 18 minutes. Next question is deoxyribonucleotide triphosphate serves the dual purpose of dash and dash in the process of replication of DNA. The first option is enzyme and substrate, second is catalyst and substrate, third is substrate and energy provider, and fourth is energy mutate provider. Now we know that deoxytriphosphate serves the dual purpose of substrate and energy provider in the process of replication of DNA. So option C is the correct answer. Next question is the average rate of polymerization of deoxyribonucleotides in E. coli DNA replication process is first 2500 base pair, second 2000, third is 3000 base pair per second, and fourth is 3500 base pair per second. So we know that the average rate of polymerization, it is 2000 base pair per second. Next question is DNA dependent DNA polymerase catalyzes the polymerization in dash direction only in terms of newly synthesized strands. Now we know that DNA dependent DNA polymerase, it catalyzes the polymerization in the 5' to 3' direction only. So option C is the correct answer. Now here is this is the figure given, and we have to identify this figure and we have to answer certain questions which are related to this figure. Now looking at the figure, we can see that this is the figure of this. This is the figure of the nucleosome, and so we have to answer certain questions which are associated with this figure. First, the figure shows an essential biomolecule associated with which cell organelle. The options are endoplasmic reticulum, second is ribosome, third is nucleus, and fourth is Golgi apparatus. So the figure shows the cell organelle which is nucleus. Now next question is what is indicated by A in the figure? RNA, DNA, histone octamer, and H1 histone. So A, it indicates the DNA. We know that in nucleosome, histone proteins, this DNA is wrapped around the histone protein. So this A represents the DNA and rest are the histone proteins. Now what is indicated by B in the figure? First option is RNA, second is DNA, third is histone octamer, and fourth is H1 histone. So fourth option is the correct option, that is B denotes the H1 histone. Next question is, what is indicated by D in the figure? Core of histone molecule, part of histone molecule, histone octamer, or DNA. Now this D denotes the core of the histone molecule. Next question is, what is indicated by C in the figure? Core of histone molecule, part of histone molecule, histone octamer, or DNA. This C indicates the histone octamer. Now, there are 8 histone proteins, and plus this DNA, it forms the nucleosome. Next question is, the whole structure indicated in the figure is of dash. First option is chromosome, second is nucleosome, third is nucleolus, and fourth is proteasome. So we know that this figure represents the structure of nucleosome. So C is the correct answer. Discontinuously synthesized strands of DNA adjacent to dash DNA template are joined together by dash. So we know that these discontinuously strands of DNA, they are adjacent to 5' and 3' end and template DNA, and they are joined together by the enzyme which is known as DNA ligase. So C is the correct option. During which phase of cell cycle does replication of DNA takes place in eukaryotes? G1 phase, G0 phase, S phase, or G2 phase. Now we know that during S phase, the cell cycle, S phase of cell cycle, DNA replication takes place. The process of copying genetic information from DNA to RNA is known as translation, transduction, transcription, or transformation. Now we know that the process of copying information from DNA to RNA, it is known as transcription. So C is the correct answer. The product of transcription process is in fact entire segment of DNA copied to RNA, only a segment of DNA copied to RNA, both A and B, and none of these. Now we know that the process of transcription process, in this only a segment of DNA is copied to RNA. So B is the correct answer. Now next question is, in the process of transcription, the strand of DNA with polarity dash acts as a dash strand. The options are 5' to 5' coding strand, 3' to 5' coding strand, template strand, 3' to 3' coding strand, and 5' to 3' template strand. Now in the process of transcription, that is when RNA is formed from this DNA, it has polarity 3' to 5'. This acts as template strand. So option B is the correct answer. Next question is, the promoter and dash flank the structural genes in the transcription unit. The options are structure, regulator, operator, or terminator. Now we know that promoter and terminator flank the structural gene in the transcription unit. So D is the correct answer. A segment of DNA coding for a polypeptide is termed as intron, exon, cistron, or distron. We know that the segment of DNA which is coding for a particular polypeptide is cistron. Now next question is, this is the figure given, which is showing the experiment in which we have to prove that the replication is semi-conservative replication. We have to answer certain questions which are related to this figure. So first question is, which experiment is shown in the figure? Griffith experiment, Hershey-Chase experiment, Michelson and Starr experiment, and last is Watson and Crick experiment. We know that it is Michelson and Starr experiment which is shown in the figure. Now next question is, what is indicated by A in the figure? Centrifugal force, centripetal force, gravitational force, or radioactive force. Now A, it represents the gravitational force. So centrifugation is taking place in terms of this gravitational force. Now this next question is, what is indicated by B in the figure? Heavy, hybrid, light, or heavy hybrid? This B, it indicates the heavy band. What is indicated by C in the figure? Heavy, hybrid, light, or heavy hybrid? This C, it indicates the hybrid band in the figure, that is mixture of both the bands. Next question is, what is indicated by D in the figure? Hybrid, light and hybrid, heavy and hybrid, and heavy and light. So this D, it indicates the light and hybrid band in the figure. Now next question is, the coding sequences of DNA are known as dash, and the intervening sequences are known as dash respectively. The options are exon and intron, intron and exon, cistron and exon, and exon and cistron. Now we know the coding sequences of DNA are known as the exon, and intervening sequences are known as intron. So option A is the correct answer. Next question is, in bacteria, which of the following plays a structural and catalytic role in translation process? mRNA, ribosomal RNA, transfer RNA, or DNA? We know that ribosomal RNA, it plays a catalytic role in translation. Next question is, what are the components required for initiation of transcription in bacteria? RNA polymerase only, promoter, RNA polymerase, and rho factor, and sigma factor. So we know that in the transcription, for transcription in bacteria, three things are required, that is promoter, RNA polymerase enzyme, and this rho factor. So these are the three things very important for transcription in bacteria. Now next question is, rho factor is important for initiation factor. It acts as initiation factor, termination factor, vital factor. So we know that this rho factor, it acts as termination factor, that is, it terminates the transcription. Next question is, in bacteria, in contrast to mRNA, which of the following is not true? First, translation and transcription takes place in different compartments. We know this is true, that translation and transcription, they takes place in different compartments. Next is post-transcription modification are required, like splicing. This is also true because post-translation modification are there. And third is translation occurs only after transcription. So this is also true, that is translation process, it occurs after transcription. That means the correct answer is D, that is all the above, because these all the statements are true. Next question is, the total number of RNA polymerase found in eukaryotes is 3, 4, 2, or 5. Now we know that total number of RNA polymerase which are found in eukaryotes are 4. That is RNA polymerase 1, 2, 3, and 4. And all the RNA polymerase have different functions. Next question is, which of the following RNA is transcribed by RNA polymerase 2 in eukaryotes? Transfer RNA, ribosomal RNA, snRNA, or hnRNA. Now we know that by RNA polymerase 2, this hnRNA is transcribed. Next question is, RNA polymerase 1 transcribes the dash in eukaryotes. So we know that it transcribes this ribosomal RNA in eukaryotes. So option B is the correct answer. Next, in eukaryotes, RNA polymerase 3 is responsible for the synthesis of 28S RNA, 18S RNA, and 5.8 sRNA. Next option is transfer RNA, hnRNA, and ribosomal RNA. Third is transfer RNA, 5S RNA, snRNA, and fourth is hnRNA, transfer RNA, and ribosomal RNA. Now we know that in eukaryotes, the RNA polymerase 3, it is responsible for the synthesis of transfer RNA, 5S ribosomal RNA, and snRNA. So option C is the correct answer. Next question is, the intervening sequences in the primary transcripts of mRNA are removed by the process which is known as recombination, linkage, capping, or splicing. Now we know that splicing is the process by which RNA is removed. Intervening sequences are removed by the process of splicing, that is cutting of the intervening sequences. Next question is, additional post-transcriptional process like capping and tailing is the characteristic of ribosomal RNA, hnRNA, snRNA, or transfer RNA. This capping and tailing, we know it is a characteristic of this hnRNA. Now, which classical model proposed by Watson and Crick is represented by this figure? This is a figure, and we have to name the model which is represented by this figure. So first is fully conservative DNA transcription. Second is semi-conservative RNA replication, semi-conservative DNA replication, and fourth is this non-conservative DNA replication. Now we know that DNA replication is semi-conservative. That means in DNA, we know that from one single DNA replication, we know one single DNA, 2 strands of DNA are formed. And this is semi-conservative. One strand is from parental and one strand is newly synthesized strand. So this is the reason it is known as semi-conservative replication, because one strand is same, one strand is conserved from the parent. So one strand is same as parent. So this DNA replication is semi-conservative. Now in post-transcriptional modification, capping adds an unusual nucleotide like guanosine triphosphate, methyl guanine triphosphate, methyl guanosine triphosphate, adenosine triphosphate. Now we know that in post-translation modification, capping adds unusual nucleotide like methyl guanosine triphosphate. In post-translation modification called tailing, dash residues are added at the dash of mRNA. Adenylate 5' end, guanylate 3' end, adenylate 3' end, and guanylate 5' end. Now we know that in post-translation modification, that is tailing, this adenylate residues are added at the 3' end of mRNA. So option C is the correct answer. mRNA is in fact unprocessed ribosomal RNA, unprocessed hnRNA, processed hnRNA, and D is processed mRNA itself. We know that mRNA is the processed hnRNA. RNA. Now there are some questions which are related to genetic code. So first question is, a physicist, George Gamow, argued that genetic code is a combination of dash nucleotides, 3, 2, 4 or 1. Now we know that this genetic code is a combination of 3 nucleotides. We have 3 nucleotides in genetic code. 3 nucleotides represents the genetic code. So options A is the correct answer. Humans require dash codons to synthesize 20 amino acids. 64 codons, 61 codons, 62 codons and 60 codons. Now we know that there are 64 codons, but out of 64 codons, 61 codons code for 20 amino acid, and there are 3 codons which are known as stop codons. So 61 codons code for 20 amino acid. So the answer is 61 codons, that is B is the correct answer. Now the chemical method developed by Dash was instrumental in synthesizing RNA molecules with defined combination of bases. First is Marshall Nirenberg. Second is George Gamow. Third is Hargobind Khurana. And fourth is F.H.C. Crick. Now we know that the chemical method which was developed, it was developed by this were the scientist Hargobind Khurana. Now next question is, Dash cell-free system for protein synthesis finally helped the genetic code to be deciphered. George Gamow, Marshall Nirenberg, Hargobind Khurana and J.D. Watson. We know that Marshall Nirenberg was the scientist who developed this genetic code and it was deciphered. Now some amino acids are coded by more than one codon. Hence the genetic code exhibits specificity, selectivity, degeneracy and regeneracy. So this statement, it goes with this degeneracy, that is option C, that some amino acids are coded by more than one codons, because we have 61 codons and there are only 20 amino acids. So that means some amino acids are coded by more than one codon. Now next question is, the codon AUG has dual function as it codes for dash and also acts as dash codon. AUG, we know it is the initiation codon and it codes for the methionine and it acts as initiator codon. So this AUG, it codes for methionine and it is the initiator codon, that is it initiates the transcription process. So option D is the correct answer. Next question is, sickle cell anemia is a classical example of frame shift mutation, point mutation, deletion mutation or duplication mutation. This sickle cell anemia is an example of point mutation because this mutation occurs at a particular point. Now in sickle cell anemia, which amino acid modification help in beta chain of amino acid? Valine to glutamine, threonine to valine, tyrosine to glutamate or glutamate to valine. We know in sickle cell anemia, the glutamate is converted to valine. So option D is the correct answer. Transfer RNA was earlier called adapter molecules, special RNA, protein carrying RNA or soluble RNA. So we know that transfer RNA, we know that it works as adapter molecule, but it was called initially as this soluble RNA. Now, next question is, for the initiation of translation process, the specific transfer RNA involved is known as helper transfer RNA, assister transfer RNA, initiator transfer RNA, or terminal transfer RNA. Now we know that the transfer RNA, it is known as initiator transfer RNA because it starts the process of translation. Now this is the diagram given and we have to identify this diagram and we have to answer certain questions which are related with this diagram. The picture is taken using dash microscope, phase contrast, electron, bright field, or fluorescence. Now we know that this picture has been taken using electron microscope because electron microscope is very sensitive and it can detect minute organisms also. Next question is, the picture shows characteristic coiling of DNA, which is known as dash. Springs on beads, beads on spring, nano bead coiling, or none of these. Now the picture shows the beads on string. This picture represents the beads on string. So option B is the correct answer. Next question is, the process of polymerization of amino acid to polypeptide is known as peptopolymerization, transcription, translation, or transformation. Now we know that the process of polymerization of polypeptide, it is known as transcription. Charging of transfer RNA is known as acylation, transamination, amine alkylation, and amino acylation. We know that when this transfer RNA is charged, it is known as amino acylation. Next question is, transfer RNA for serine bears anticodon dash. First is AUG, second is UAC, third is UCA, and fourth is UGA. So this transfer RNA for serine bears the anticodon that is known as UGA. Next question is, the structure of transfer RNA resembles which leaf? Olive, neem, clove, or clover leaf model. Now we know that the structure of transfer RNA, it resembles the clover leaf model. So option D is the correct answer. Next question is, ribosomes are the cellular factories for the synthesis of carbohydrates, enzymes, proteins, or lipids. We know that these ribosomes are the cellular factories for the synthesis of protein. Ribosomes in bacteria is dash ribosomal RNA. First is 30S ribosomal RNA, 32S, 23S, or 21S ribosomal RNA. We know that it is 23S ribosomal RNA. Additional sequences on mRNA referred to as dash are not translated. Variable tandem repeats, non-coding sequences, untranslated regions, or untranscribed regions, or untranslated regions. Now these additional sequences, which are known as untranslated regions, are not translated. So these are present a specific region, and these are the regions which are not translated. Next question is, in eukaryotes, which of the following mechanism is not correct in terms of regulation of gene expression? Transcription, splicing, transport of mRNA from cytoplasm to nucleus, and D is translation. So in eukaryotes, we know that the transport of mRNA from cytoplasm to nucleus is not correct because it is transported from this nucleus to cytoplasm. Now, next question is, beta-galactosidase is synthesized by E. coli to characterize the hydrolysis of dash into dash and glucose. The options are galactose and lactose, galactose and glucose, lactose and galactose, and maltose and glucose. Now we know that beta galactosidase is synthesized by E. coli to characterize the hydrolysis of lactose into galactose and glucose. So option C is the correct answer. Next question is, lac operon was illustrated by Watson and Crick, Jacob and Monod, Johnson and Mischer. We know it was illustrated by this Jacob and Monod scientist. A polycistronic structure gene regulated by common promoter and regulator gene in bacteria and is commonly termed as codon, operon, genetic code, and last option is none of these. We know that it is the operator operon which is regulated. Next question is, regulatory gene I in lac operon is inducer, inhibitor, structure, or initiator. Now this I represents the inhibitor gene in lac operon. Now here is the diagram given, and we have to identify this diagram and we have to answer certain questions which are related with this diagram. Now we can see that there are 3 steps, that is initiation, elongation, and termination. So, and terminator is there. This is the promoter and Rho, and this is the Rho protein. So this is the diagram, and we have to identify this diagram and we have to answer certain questions. First is, what is indicated by D in the figure? RNA polymerase, DNA helix, sigma factor, and D is promoter. So this D, we can say that D represents the DNA helix. So option B is the correct answer. Now, what is indicated by B in the figure? Sigma factor, RNA, DNA helix, and promoter. So B indicates this sigma factor. Now, next question is, what does H indicates in the figure? RNA polymerase, RNA, promoter, or Rho factor? So this H, it represents this Rho factor. Next question is, out of 3 structural genes Z, Y, and A, the gene S which gene of E. coli lac operon code for permease? So first option is Z, second is S, third is Y, and fourth is both B and C. We know that Y gene codes for this permease. Repressor protein in lac operon concept binds to which gene? D, I, O, and Z. This repressor protein, it binds to this O gene. So C is the correct answer. Next question is, in lac operon, the inducer binds to dash to initiate the synthesis of enzyme responsible for lactose metabolism. Now we know that this inducer, it binds to repressor to initiate the synthesis of lactose metabolism. So B is the correct answer. Now next question is, lac operon operates in E. coli dash. First is occasionally, second is frequently, third is all time, and fourth is sometime. So lac operon operates E. coli all time. So option C is the correct answer. Next question is, generally the regulation of lac operon by repressor is referred to as dash regulation. Now the lac, we know that the options are positive, negative, feedback, or both. Now it is referred to as negative regulation. Next question is, considering the cost of sequences, one base pair to $3 and for an approximately cost of human genome project would come out to be 3 million, 9 million, 9 billion, and 3 million. We know that it was 9 billion. So option C is the correct answer. Now, here figure is given and we have to identify this figure and we have to answer certain questions relating to this figure. Now, seeing this figure, we can see that this figure represents the DNA fingerprinting. Now, first of all, we should understand what is this DNA fingerprinting. When on the basis of this DNA fingerprinting, we can identify two individuals on the basis of VNTR regions. So this DNA fingerprinting, it is used to first to find criminals. Second, it is also used to solve paternal issues. And third, genetic disorders. So this is the diagram which represents the DNA fingerprinting. So we have to answer certain questions which are related with this diagram. What is indicated by A in the figure? Maternal chromosome, paternal chromosome, fetal chromosome, or sister chromosome. Now we know that A, it represents the paternal chromosome because DNA fingerprinting, it is used. I have already discussed that one application of DNA fingerprinting is to solve paternal issues. So we take the paternal chromosomes and we find out the DNA fingerprints. Next question is, what is indicated by B in the figure? Maternal chromosome, paternal chromosome, fetal chromosome, and sister chromosome. So option is the B represents the maternal chromosome because one is paternal chromosome and one is maternal chromosome. Human Genome Project was closely associated with the rapid development of dash, chemoinformatics, modern genetics, pharmacoinformatics, and bioinformatics. Now we know that Human Genome Project, it is related with the bioinformatics. Bioinformatics, we know it is a branch of science, of computer science, on the basis of which we can identify the DNA sequences. We can know the DNA sequence of an individual. So it, the Human Genome Project, it is associated with this bioinformatics. Next question is, Human Genome Project was X year long project starting from Y to Z. The options are X is 13, Y is 1980, and X is 1993. X is 12, 1980, 2000. X is 13, Y is 1990 and 2003. And last is X is 14, Y is 1990 and Z is 2004. Now we know that this X is 13 years. It was initiated 13. It was a 13-year-old project starting from 1990 to 2003. So option C is the correct answer. Next question, ELSI stands for ethical, logical and society issues, ethical, legal and society issues, ethical, logical and social issues, and ethical, legal and social issues. Now we know that ELSI, it stands for this ethical, legal and social issues. Caenorhabditis elegans is a free-living non-pathogenic dash. It is annelid, nematode, crustacean or mammal. Now we know that it is nematode. Next question is, Express sequence tax EST is an approach practiced in dash. DNA fingerprinting, DNA sequencing, DNA replicating, or DNA transformation. So ESI, it is basically an approach which is practiced in DNA sequencing. So option B is the correct answer. Next question is, sequencing the whole genome of an organism into coding and non-coding sequences is termed as sequence determination, sequence detection, sequence annotation, or sequence compilation. So it refers to this sequence annotation. BAC, a vector used in biotechnology for cloning, stands for bacterial actual chromosome, bacterial artificial chromosome, bacterial annotated chromosome, or none of these. So we know that it represents the bacterial artificial chromosome. The credit for developing a method of determination of DNA as well as protein sequences goes to Sanger, Watson, Taylor, and Monod. So we know that the credit goes to Sanger. In Human Genome Project, the chromosome dash was completed in May 2006. So chromosome were 2, 1, 3, or 4. We know that it was on chromosome 1. Which of the following is not a salient feature of Human Genome Project? The Human Genome Project contains 3614 million nucleotide base pair. We know it is the wrong statement. Less than 2% genome codes for protein. This is correct. Now, over 50% of the genes discovered are investigating. This is also correct. And chromosome Y has the fewest number of genes. So this is also correct. That means first is the wrong statement. Under Human Genome Project, the scientists have located 1.4 million locations where differences in single DNA base exist. It is termed as microsatellite, single nucleotide polymorphism, polymorphonuclear regions, or sequential nucleotide polymorphism. So we know that it is referred to as single nucleotide polymorphism, that is SNPs. DNA fingerprinting is based on principle of identifying dash sequences of DNA, satellite, variable, mutated, or repetitive. We know it is based on repetitive sequences of DNA. Now, next question is, variations at genetic level on nucleotides is termed as allotropy, polymorphism, isomerism, or tautomerism. We know the variations are polymorphism. So option B is the correct answer. Next question is, if inheritable mutation is observed in a population at high frequency, it is termed as DNA mutation, DNA isomerism, DNA polymorphism, or none of these. We know that it refers to DNA polymorphism. The technique of dash was discovered by Alex Jeffrey. We know it is DNA fingerprinting. So DNA fingerprinting was discovered by the scientist Alex Jeffrey. A well-known technique to amplify a small portion of DNA is PCR, VNTR, UTR, and this EST. So we know it is the technique which is used to amplify DNA is PCR, and it is known as polymerase chain reaction, and it is done to amplify a DNA sequence. VNTR vary in size from dash to dash, 0.1 to 60 bases, 0.1 to 20 kilobase, 0.1 to 20 hectabases, and 0.1 to 20 decabases. So we know it is from 0.1 to 20 kilobases. Similar DNA fingerprinting is obtained for dizygotic twins, monozygotic twins, polyzygotic twins, or none of these. We know that in case of monozygotic twins, the DNA fingerprinting is same. Next question is, in DNA fingerprinting, the hybridized strands are detected by radiometry, radioscopy, autoradiography, and scintillation counter. So we know with the help of autoradiography, the hybridized strands are detected. Now, under Human Genome Project, the largest known human gene was somatotropin, dystrophin, insulin, or somatostatin. We know now the dystrophin is the largest human gene which is known. Now, this is the figure given below, and we have to answer certain questions which are related to this figure. So what is indicated by A in this figure? Hydrogen bond, covalent bond, ionic bond, or van der Waals forces. Now we know that it is A represents the ionic bonds. Next question is, in a DNA strand, the nucleotides are linked together by glycosidic bonds, phosphodiester bond, peptide bonds, or hydrogen bonds. So it is the nucleotides are linked by phosphodiester bonds. A nucleoside differs from nucleotide. It lacks the base, phosphate group, sugar, or hydroxyl group. So we know that a nucleoside differs from this nucleotide as it lacks this sugar group. Next question is, both deoxyribose and ribose belong to class of sugars which are known as trioses, hexoses, pentoses, or polysaccharides. So we know it is the pentose sugar. Both belong to pentose class of sugar. Next question is, the fact that a purine base always paired through hydrogen bonds with a pyrimidine leads to dash in the DNA double helix. The antiparallel nature, the semi-conservative nature, uniform width throughout DNA, uniform length in all DNA. So the correct answer is uniform width throughout the DNA. Next question and the last question is, the net positive charge on DNA and histone is both positive, both negative, negative and positive, and zero. So we know that net positive charge, it is negative and positive. We know DNA, it is negatively charged and histones are positively charged. So C is the correct answer. So please press the bell icon and subscribe my channel so that we can bring more videos for your class 12th board exam and NEET revision.